today's cook is going to be some chicken wings on my new to me Bayou Classic ceramic egg. I did some mods to it. Burned it off last night, and I just want to give it a try. I tell you, one thing I would definitely say that, because this is my first ceramic egg. One thing I will say is that, man, this thing will hold a temperature like you have no idea. It might just be because I wish I had cooked on it before I did the mods, because you know, I like to assume it's because of the mods that I did to it that's definitely helping. And I noticed a couple of hairline cracks in it. One coming from the vent, one of the bolt holes for the side vent at the bottom, and it went down and across the bottom, almost all the way across the bottom. So that sort of freaked me out a little bit. And I only paid $200 for this thing, stand and all. So I figured, you know, I could still do something. It's about 250 pounds. I was trying to think of something I could do to it, short of loading it back up, getting a few guys together, loading it back up the truck and taking it back to the guy I bought it from. But this Rutland furnace cement, now there's some kicks to it. So this furnace cement, it worked first off, but it's not made for something that's going to sit outside. It's not going to weather like you would hope it would. So I looked at another product and I bought it, didn't use it, but it's actually Rutland's castable refract cement, I think it's called, if I remember correctly. And it was something that you can use indoors, outdoors. You know, you can make patches in ceramic, masonry, fireplaces, outdoor fireplaces, outdoor pizza ovens, whatever you want to do. You can actually make things out of that other stuff. But I sort of kind of didn't want to use it because it's thicker. And with it going in the bottom of this egg, you only have so much air gap around the diffuser and the burn pot, or firebox rather. I was afraid of taking up that space, so I did use this stuff. Unfortunately, I did not do a video. I should have done a video. I thought about it and I was like, who's going to want to see a video of this? But I was on a live last night. The dudes had a live last night, and Kent with Daddy Dutch was on there, and Grumpus, and they all sort of kind of said, well, did you do a video? And I was like, man, I should have done a video. I thought about it, didn't think anybody was interested in it, and now they're saying it would have been a good idea. But I just took some plastic putty knives and I just smoothed it across the bottom. There is some shots that I'll post, but after it was done. And you just smooth it across the bottom, and what you have to do, the drawback to this stuff is that you have to heat it in stages in order to cure it properly. I called the manufacturer, Rutland, very helpful people out there at Rutland's, and they thought I should go ahead and try it. They thought it would work as long as it wasn't used out or stored outside. So I went ahead with it. So what you have to do is you basically build a fire, a small fire, and you get this thing up to about 250 degrees. I kept my meat probe into the vent hole, kept checking with the temperatures in there. And you got to get up to 250, and you hold it at 250 for a minimum of 1 hour. Then after that, you increase the temperatures to 500 degrees, and again, you hold it for an hour. I did that last night. This morning I came out and I actually washed, took everything back apart, washed out the inside to see how the furnace cement reacted, because if the curing process went too fast, you'll see the product will be, what's the word I want to say, improvised maybe, or maybe that's not the correct word, but it'll turn to like a sort of like an ash almost, and it didn't happen, fortunately. So I must have done something right. Also, let me get back to the grill. I jumped ahead of the gun. So also what I did is that I put a new seal around the lid and the base where they come together. But I also, at the vent at the bottom, I noticed that there's air gaps all the way around that thing. So I actually took, by Rutland's again, silicone sealant. This stuff's good up to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. And this Rutland's furnace cement is up to 1200 degrees Fahrenheit, I believe it is. And I put some of the gasket sealant, gasket material, not only around the two halves where they come together, but at the top vent where your the flapper adjustment for the vent. I put some of that tape, the heat-proof felt tape around the chimney, so I slid the top back over top of it and remounted it. I dampened it as per the instructions before applying this. That's to help with the bond. Lightly dampen it. You don't pour water in it. I had a rag, and I did pour water in it, but I had a rag and I wiped it around the perimeter and the areas in which I wanted to put this furnace cement on. But let's get to cooking, because I'm uncomfortable talking about the process of this. Again, I'm by no means a professional. What I did worked. I would suggest maybe contacting Rutland's. They're the ones that helped me with some questions I had before I proceeded, and with their suggestions I was successful. So today will be the first cook after the burn-in, so we'll see how long it holds up down the road. But anyhow, like I said, let's get back to the cook, YouTube. So today we are going to cook on this egg, and it's going to be all Uncle Steve today. I did receive some of the new barbecue sauce, the no-name barbecue sauce, which I'll be putting on later. We're using some of the chicken shake, and I'm going to use a little bit of the Lucky Shake. I'm not going to do any salt or pepper or anything. This is again going to be all about the Uncle Steve shake, and I should have probably done the underside first, but we'll let this sweat in good before I go to flip them over to season the other side, because obviously you want to season all sides. YouTube, you see what we're doing, we'll bring you back. Alright YouTube, so we got the bird shake on there. I'm just going to put a little bit of this Uncle Steve's Lucky Shake. Let me get down here into the picture. Uncle Steve's Lucky Shake as a top coat. And like I said earlier, we're just going to let this sweat in a little bit so I can flip these over without losing all my rubs that I have applied. I didn't use a binder or anything. Like I said, these wings were still partially frozen and plenty moist, so we're going to run with that. We'll bring you back. Alright YouTube, so here you have it. What I will say that I'm not really fond of this egg, and that's just something that I need to change. I don't like not having easy access to the underside, and I've got to do this pretty quick, because one of the other drawbacks is that you open that lid on these things and she's going to fire up. So I want to try and keep that under control. Yeah, sorry for all the noise. All my buddies driving by, I want to say thank you at the wrong, or hello at the wrong time. Alright YouTube, so it won't be long now. I turn up the temps a little bit. Let's warm up some of this Uncle Steve's, the sauce with no name. I got my little lodge on top of the top vent flap where some heat transferred to that vent cover. And get some of this sauce warmed up and we'll bring you back. Alright YouTube. So I did take the plate setter off. I'm going to get some sauce on these things here. Uncle Steve really got it going on with these products. That barbecue sauce is some really good stuff. I wish I hadn't burnt probably 4 or 5 out of the 13 wings, but I'll still eat them. They're still good. They're just a little extra crispy. But I'm hoping the wife don't want any of them. She's not as big of a wing eater as I am. And that way it'd be more for me, but if she wants some, it's fine too. YouTube, I'll stop rambling. Uncle Steve, good stuff. And this is Lance with Sleeper BBQ from St. Mary's County, Maryland. Until next time.